Conor McGregor is the most successful MMA fighter of all time. But what if I told you most people have no idea of the type of characters he associates with? Jonathan and Andrew Murray, nicknamed Gangster Brothers. They have 66 criminal convictions between them both. Jonathan Murray was arrested for a 2012 attack on a man that was described in court as sickening. His brother Andrew Murray has been charged with everything from possession of drugs with intent to sell, theft, assault. In this video, we are only touching the Gangster Brothers' childhood friend Conor McGregor. Let's begin. This is a tale of Conor, a former underdog who rose to fame as a two-time champion. However, his success is now overshadowed by suspicion of selling banned substances and being in trouble with the Irish mafia. Conor's childhood was marked by bullying, but he overcame it and became the biggest star in Ireland. However, his off-field behavior landed him in trouble, and he punched a man in a bar, who turned out to be the father of one of the mafia's leaders. As fate would have it, Conor ended up buying the bar where the incident occurred, and it cost him a whopping 15 million euros. The purchase was a coincidence and an offer he could not refuse. Conor bought it in the interest of the Kinahan Cartel, one of Ireland's two main mafia cartels, to move drugs through it. The other is the Hutch Mafia, and they have a long-standing feud that involves drive-by shootings and other violent acts. Graham Willan, one of the biggest drug dealers in the country, was present in the bar that fateful night. After the incident, journalists got wind of a bounty put on Conor's head by the Kinahan family for 900,000 euros. However, no assaults have been conducted, and over time, photos and videos surfaced of Conor hanging out with those who put the bounty on his head. Conor's rise to fame and fortune is now marred by his association with the Irish mafia and suspicion of selling banned substances. His off-field behavior has also landed him in trouble, and now his life is at risk due to the bounty on his head. The early life of Conor. Conor McGregor's relationship with the Irish mafia dates back to his early life. McGregor worked as a plumber and trained in an area of Dublin under the control of the Kinahan family, a notorious crime syndicate known for drug trafficking. Half the streets in the area were either family members or their children. As a result, McGregor is often seen in photographs with members of the Kinahan Cartel, the main crime lord in Ireland. In April 2015, McGregor attended the funeral of gangster Paul Kavanagh, who was rumored to have been killed by the Kinahan clan. McGregor is friends with Paul's nephew, Jamie Kavanagh, a professional boxer. In 2015, Jamie was supposed to fight at a boxing tournament, but his fight was cancelled due to a shooting involving members of the Kinahan Cartel on the way to the hotel. McGregor's name has come up in various mafia-related incidents, such as the arson of his bar Black Forge. One of the characters in the story is Ian Maloney, also known as Dog. He has 80 criminal records and is an enemy of McGregor's friend Ian, who is also part of the mafia. Maloney was known as a violent criminal and a member of the Hutch Mafia. He had a feud with a drug dealer named Kremlin, whose family home was bombed in response. In retaliation, a friend of Maloney's was blown up. The atmosphere was electric, as the guys were having the time of their lives. But unfortunately, Maloney, a notorious drug dealer, had set his sights on McGregor's close friend, who frequented his pub, the Black Forge. Armed with a plethora of information and videos, McGregor was aware of what Maloney was up to. Despite this, many of his fans were skeptical of his claims. However, one look at Conor's face in those videos and it's apparent that he was under the influence of drugs. We urge you to steer clear of drugs of any form and make the right choices. Thanks to the Kinahan family and their infamous whiskey and coke mix, Dublin and the rest of Ireland had been caught up in the drug craze. Conor, who had just received his first winning money, fell victim to this drug culture and became addicted to it. He bought drugs from a man he didn't even know and even celebrated his victories with them. His addiction only grew after his triumph against Aldo, where he began to believe that he was invincible. McGregor's subsequent fight with Mayweather was the tipping point, which caused his health and career to spiral downwards. To add fuel to the fire, McGregor began to associate with the Kinahan clan and was even implicated in their drug trafficking activities. It was a dangerous game that Conor was playing, and it was only a matter of time before he got caught up in it. According to John Kavanagh, McGregor's head coach, they had a serious talk after Conor's first MMA loss. John pointed out to McGregor that he had been associating with people he shouldn't have and indulging in activities he shouldn't have been a part of. McGregor promised to turn his life around. However, he stayed in Dubai between fights, claiming to be training, but it was speculated that he was there to fuel his addiction to alcohol and cocaine. McGregor's recent erratic behavior in the cage, insulting opponents and their loved ones, can be attributed to his addiction. He even sent his wife and kids away from him, immersing himself solely in the male environment. There were also rumors that the former middleweight champion Billy Joe Saunders and world heavyweight champion Tyson Fury were related to the Kinahan family. They have all been seen in photographs with the Kinahan clan, and it's been suggested that drugs and alcohol may have also played a part in their lives. However, McGregor stands out as he became highly addicted to substances and alcohol after being in close contact with the Kinahan family. As a result, he spiraled into a deep depression, which led to a prolonged break from fighting. The world of contact sports is never without its share of unsavory characters, and George Masudo has been one of the most vocal in demanding justice for his friend, who was wrongfully imprisoned. However, a closer look into the matter reveals that the alleged friend is actually a murderer, which begs the question of whether Masudo himself is connected to the criminal underworld. The downfall of Darren Till, another fighter, began when he returned to Liverpool and allegedly began collaborating with people who had a history of breaking the law. Unfortunately, in this world, there seems to be no way out of the criminal element once you're in it. Conor McGregor, unfortunately, has fallen into a deep hole from which he may never recover. His parties are filled with alcohol, drugs, and stress from his relations with the mafia. McGregor has even joked about his drug use, and many have noticed that he seems to be losing himself to depression and is not fully focused on his fights. It's difficult to see how he can be focused on fighting when he's constantly drugging himself into problems that could lead to a fatal outcome. The sad truth is that McGregor is not the first and won't be the last fighter to be closely connected to the criminal underworld. Despite the good job that McGregor's managers have done, unlike Fury, he has not managed to turn the narrative 180 degrees, but has simply taken on the image of a bad, balding guy. It's a sobering reminder that fame and fortune do not guarantee happiness or fulfillment, and that some people are destined to be trapped in a cycle of addiction and despair. So it's important to remember that contact sports, like any other profession, can attract individuals with questionable morals and associations. It's up to the individual to make the right choices and surround themselves with positive influences. Still, unfortunately, not everyone is strong enough to resist the allure of the criminal underworld. What do you think of the link between the Kinahan Cartel and Conor McGregor? Comment your views below and make sure to subscribe for more such videos. See you soon!